In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of HB Unplugged. I'm Mel Craig.
And I'm Don Ramsey.
And we got a good guest here today, Ricky. Yeah, this is going to be kind of cool. This is exciting. Don, why don't you
Ricky
introduce
Blake. Okay, so this is Ricky Blake. He's a friend of mine, but he's also a well-known surfing artist, surfer, surf dad, just about everything that...
Family man.
Yeah, and actually we're doing a big event December 4th together.
Yeah, that's why we want him on
Yes.
the show. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff together.
Thanks so
All
much,
good.
guys, for having me. This is a beautiful setup, and Don is an amazing guy, and so happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ricky, there's an event coming up on December 4th.
December 4th.
We're actually trying to raise some money.
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact,
We're going to try to raise... it's for Robin's Nest,
yeah,
right?
Robin's Nest. So everybody's gonna. I mean, it's $40, 25 buses. It's $1,000, and she'll be there that night. So
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're kind of stoked. Duke's Restaurant's gonna have the food. Great band called Nice and Swell's gonna play.
And
They
you-
are unreal.
Really?
What's
the genre?
they're reggae,
Oh, wow. Cool.
and they
Karen's
are
favorite.
great.
So you're talking about the VW ID Buzz show.
Yes.
That you're talking about.
Yes,
I guess
that
it's
is correct.
They're going to be a couple in inventory now.
There's going to be one. It's a green and white one.
Oh, cool.
That's the first one that they're going to have for sale, and then they get they kind of trickle in through the week and the coming weeks. And dude, I think they're already all spoken for.
Oh,
to be
I'm
honest
sure
with
they
you.
are.
There's
Yeah, I'm
people
sure they
standing in line nationwide waiting to buy them. But
Yeah.
So so this is really cool. Courtney McKenna
Great
came
girl.
to me. Yeah, she runs the whole deal there, the McKenna Volkswagen, and she wanted to do an art show in conjunction with the release of this ID Buzz, and so she asked me, and I asked a bunch of my artist friends, and they did old bus paintings.
Yes.
From the old classic buses.
Oh, wow.
Like Don's bus, and so
You mean your students?
no. These are
like friends, like
some of the
artists.
best artists.
Oh, wow.
Yes, these are unbelievable artists.
Because I've been working with Huntington Beach Surfing Museum, I've got to a bunch of artists who are putting art in the museum. And so these same artists, I asked all of these artists, and I asked a couple more that I know who do bus paintings. Or, this one guy, Norm Daniels from San Diego, who's an amazing artist. And he always does these like really funny, cartoon pulled out buses, like his
Oh, I
bus.
get it. Yeah, where the wheels are fat and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like-
yeah. I've
and
seen some
like
of
they're
those.
driving over like bridges, like with killer surf and stuff. Anyway, I just mentioned it to him, and he's like, "Yes," So he got it done super fast. And this beautiful painting. Anyway, all these paintings are of these old buses, and it was funny because I asked, I got to get Don's bus painted. So he brought his bus over to my house, and
Yep.
it's like a model. He
Oh,
pulled
yeah.
it up. He pulled it up. I go, okay, put it to the side, and he just sat it there, and so I got a really good picture of it, and that's the painting that I made of his bus.
All right, cool.
It's a great painting too. It's like he put it, like, isn't it driving down a dirt road? Oh, it's at Sano.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
right.
Oh,
it's
Sano, yeah.
You know, when you come into San Onofre and you come down the hill and you make that turn, and it's before you get to the the Four Doors area, but there's like a kind of a smaller dirt road right there. Anyway, it's like a weird like bird's eye view looking down it, and you can see his bus and the waves and stuff. Anyway, it was just beautiful how it came together. So all these surfboard paintings, surfboards are on display by Bud Lamas.
Yeah, Bud Lamas is bringing a bunch of his boards.
Now, all this is going to be for sale to raise money.
Well, the surfboards
the
aren't for
surfboard.
sale. They're on display. The whole thing is called Buses and Boards,
Right.
and so there's some classic boards that Bud had from his shop, 17th Street Board Shop. Let's get that plug in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bud for sure.
Bud Lamas is really great. He has all these classic boards on display, and then the paintings are for sale. And there's I think about 10 or 12 original paintings of these of different buses in different
Wow.
locations.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And where's that money go? Obviously, some to the artist. Some
Yeah,
to,
some to Robin's Nest.
Yeah, good.
And to all. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah. The whole event. So Courtney asked me which charity, and I'm involved in a few of them, but it's kind of Robin's Nest turn with just because I do other stuff than besides VW bus stuff. I
Yeah.
do different-
You think? Yeah.
But so it's her turn, and she's actually going to come tonight or come that night. She's pretty stoked about the whole thing, and so it's just another Cowabunga Van Clan event. We're tapped in some of the best artists, not just around here, but literally all over California. Like these artists are top of the line.
Well, so if people want to donate to this that aren't going to be at that event, can they?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're on the show right now.
Yeah, so-
let's do a shout out. Where can they donate?
Okay, so there's a link, and we can get you that
We'll,
link.
we'll put the link on
Yeah.
YouTube so that people can see the link. It'll be below. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel at the same time. But yeah, we'll put the link there
There's a
so
link.
people can go on and donate.
And there's also a thing you can see the whole event and to RSVP on this link, and we didn't talk about that whole thing that all his buses are going to be there.
Yeah, I'm putting
Yeah.
25. He's
I'm one of the buses.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think
Mine's green and white.
I drove in your bus.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Was that in the?
Oh, no.
In the parade?
No, no, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all the buses. There's so many things are happening at this one event.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, nice and slow band.
the band is great.
Duke's Restaurant is sponsoring with tacos. I mean,
Oh my God,
come
great
on.
tacos. Yeah.
And then, you know, all the paintings, and then this new. I think this is the coolest thing I've never heard of a art show, with combination with release of this bus. So it's the old bus. His bus is going to be in the
showroom.
The showroom next to the old bus. I mean, to the new bus. Old bus versus new. You know, next to each other, and then all the paintings and the board. So it's kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, 2 years ago, can't believe it's 2 years since they had the big Buzz event
Yeah,
where they
the
actually
reveal.
the big reveal of the VW Buzz
Yeah.
was on the right across from the resorts.
Yeah, we
in the parking lot. It was how many buses were there?
Because I got just about all of them, 244 VW buses.
And they were, and what was really cool was it was
Bragging, but I did.
This everyone pat Don on the back. Good job, boy. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Don.
Yeah.
Attaboy. So yeah, there was a big event. So it really did have a big tie to that because some of the things they showed up on the flat screen during that event, and some of the speakers talked about the history of the VW bus and the legacy that goes with it. So of course it would be a great event. You know, to
Yeah,
have
Fluffy was the MC.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabriel, yeah. Well,
Yeah, he just got the new ID Buzz.
Oh, he bought one.
Yes, he just got one.
Did he buy it, or do you think they sponsored him with it?
I have no idea. He's got 60-some VW buses.
I want to go see his collection one day.
Well, he brought 3 to that event.
I know, yeah, he did.
Yeah, and then he was supposed to be on the pier that following pier event, but he
He didn't make it.
didn't make it.
Karen and I got a photo with him standing next to our bus.
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
yeah.
Oh,
We
nice.
had to grab them get them while they're hot, get them while they go by.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hold it. So you know, Ricky, you're involved in quite a few things. I mean, you just got done talking just before we launched the show today that you're on a couple of the boards. You know, we always make fun of Don because he's on every board and every channel. You know, every Don's on every chair, Don's on every board.
I'm in a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, Ricky's on the Surfing Walk of Fame with me. We're stoked he's part of it because he brings so much to the table. He really does.
Wow.
And then you've been on the International Surfing
Surf
the
Museum.
Huntington Beach International Surfing Museum for how long have we? I've been on there for maybe 10 years.
Wow.
But
Just before COVID, I started helping out there.
yeah.
And it's a beautiful museum now. I mean, when we kind of started working on it, it was going through some struggles, but now we've been having these really legit exhibits. And I've been working with Peter Townend, on, and we kind of both came up with this idea to have a history exhibit of something, and then in conjunction with art. So there'll be history panels talking about the history
Of what? Huntington Beach?
of whatever the exhibit is. So we did
Okay.
we did one on the first surf spots in California,
Oh, wow.
and so we had the history of each spot, and then I got an artist to illustrate that spot in whatever way they want.
You got Swami's on there?
No, that wasn't one of the first.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, that we
Wow,
went
'cause
strictly to this is the very beginning of surfing.
So down in San Diego, what was one of the first?
In San Diego, it was
Wind and Sea?
Wind and Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wind and Sea.
And then San Onofre, and then so you go up the coast, and so there was, I think it was 10 spots we focused on. It was like the early spots where guys were first, going to, and so it was great. So the artists, like artists like Rick Rietveld,
Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever seen?
Unreal, yeah.
where he's actually he was from Corona del Mar originally, so that was one of the spots, and so he does amazing painting. And so each artist had a certain area, and it's just a different way of looking at history and an exhibit, because you have the visual aspect by an artist showing it, and then you got the whole written history with pictures.
Wow. What a trip. That's going to be great.
So we've been doing that with each exhibit. Right now we have Duke's dream
That was-
came
yeah.
true, which is his dream was to have surfing in the Olympics. And so we go through his life from, the
Wait.
late
Let me
1800s.
just stop you. So after the exhibit, he's talking about all the different surf places. It was the history of the OP Pro, and we did that. We had that for about 4 or 5 months, right?
So when
Yeah,
they when
longer.
Yeah, longer, yeah.
so when the exhibit pops up, how long does it stay in the museum? Because a lot of people would like to know that.
Well, usually it's 6 months or 6 months to 8 months, something like that. It depends
Okay.
on what's going on with the museum. And but yeah, so this last one, the Duke's Dream,
Duke's
it's
Dream.
been going since
Fabulous.
since this last summer. So it's going to be going through this year, and then we have a lot of stuff happening with the museum. That is,
I want to do a shout out too. I really want to do a shout out to the Huntington Beach International Surfing Museum, because there's so many people that I don't even know if they know it exists. I mean, the surfing museum is downtown. What street is it? Walnut? No.
Yeah, no, it's on
Olive?
Olive,
Olive-
Olive
in
and
between-
Fifth.
Olive and Fifth. Yeah. It's a great, oh my God, it is an amazing establishment. The way they've got it set up, and they change it all the time. It's always being changed to accommodate probably these different events that you guys are doing. So
Exhibits.
one of the biggest things that, I want to shout out to everybody is that when you go visit the museum, my God, please donate. There's a little thing they have there. You can donate, put some money in. These things don't get run for free. All these events take time and money and energy, and a lot of people are involved in the surfing museum to make it a success. So, when you get there, tour the facility, say hi to everybody, take a lot of photos, but be sure to donate too.
Okay, and another thing about museum, which people may not know, is that there's also a whole surf museum, art museum. So it's part history, exhibit, but then also part selling art, selling surf art. And we have an area, it's called the Surf Art Corner. And so I've been curating that, putting art in there and selling it through the museum. And I don't think a lot of people know that it's like the best surf art, I think, in the whole world.
Wow.
I mean, the
It
greatest
literally
artists.
is.
That's making a statement.
The greatest artist.
I mean,
He's not
it's
kidding.
all.
They're-
It's not just. It's not other type of art. It's surf art, but it's a collection of surf artists that are in California and all over that I've found and that I've known and that come to the museum, and it's just incredible. It's all different styles and
Phil is
Phil Roberts.
Phil Roberts.
Phil
His
Roberts
art is
and like I said
unreal.
before, Rick Rietveld. There's these guys that I was young, growing up looking at surf mags, and they were already had their art in the surf magazines in the 80s. So I'm kind of overwhelmed that I get to even talk to these guys.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But
I'm
On
sure,
a first
I'm
name
sure,
basis.
yeah, I'm sure if they're talking to you, you must mean something to them. It's funny because Alex's job, when he puts the show together. So you're going to need to be getting him some of these photos, because as people are watching this, we can flash some of those photos up on the screen.
yeah.
And they really enjoy some of the art that really tease them to get them into the museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a fun thing. What else do you do, Rick? I mean, you're a surfer. How long you been surfing?
Well, surfing since I was a kid. So since I started in around 1980. Bolsa Chica,
Yeah.
riding my bike down the dike to the oil fields.
I was actually living here in 1980. Who knows? Maybe we were out in the water together.
Probably. Yeah. That was the spot. I met so many friends, Bolsa Chica, growing up there, and the waves have changed a lot, but I have so many great memories of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so weird. You say you started surfing in 1980 when you were a kid. I'm thinking I started surfing. I was 5 years old. My brothers pushed me on a longboard into a wave. I was 5. That was 1963.
Wow, you look good.
Well, thanks, man. I was like, I'm 67 years old. It's like, what the heck? It's been that long.
Yeah. Well, those early memories are the ones that just keep you going. You remember when you first started surfing. That was like the ultimate thing, and then that's why we.
It was
still love
life.
it. Yeah.
It was, I tell people used to say, why did I do it so much? Why was I so upset? I used to tell my mom, it's like my medicine. I got to tell you this story. There was one day we're going surfing. Two of my brothers, my best friend and I, so we're all putting the boards on the car. And my mom goes, "What are you guys doing?" We're going surfing. It's raining. You're going to get all wet. We're like, how classic is that? Yeah, Mom, that's right. Yeah, okay, whatever, Mom. We got to go. Yeah, we're going to get all wet, yeah. So with the Huntington Beach surfing community, you've played a huge part. Obviously, you're really getting involved in so much here. Something that you just brought to my attention outside of your surfing is you're an art teacher, and it's sort of like you wonder if that ever exists, like wood shop, metal shop, home ec, all the things that we went to high school with doesn't exist anymore. I'm not even sure if that exists in schools today, but, to see you and talk about these kids, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that you're working with, what a benefit. I mean, what a great opportunity they have to learn from such a mentor that can really guide them down the path and open their minds to creativity. We just don't see that anymore. The creativity's not there.
Well, yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'm really lucky that I have this job. I was an artist working. I was working at Hurley, Billabong, and then Hurley, and I was doing art and working with design, making clothing and stuff. And I wasn't planning on being a teacher, so it was kind of like my second career, really. And what happened was I got laid off. So I got laid off from Hurley, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And my parents were teachers, so I'm like, I'm just going to try. So I had a degree in drawing and painting from Cal State Long Beach, and I was just doing painting. My degree was focused on being an artist, which is kind of a weird thing because it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, how do you make money being an artist?
Just be an artist,
Yeah.
But they are. Now that I've been working in the museum, I've been meeting other artists who do that, who are just. There's one artist, Sandale Burke, who has art in our museum. He is an amazing artist, and he works with museums. He has art all over the world.
Wow.
He started out in surfing, but he does a lot of political art and different messages and social art. He's really great. But anyway, I went back to school, got my teaching credential, and at Cal State Long Beach, and luckily right away I just got a job in Orange at middle school, and I've been working there for 18 years now.
Wow. That's pretty solidified.
It's pretty. What's great about it is I'm just coming up with lessons and ideas that I think kids would love, and it's all connected to history, or connected to like issues, world issues, and it's all and history of going back in time with different artists, but also modern art and I'm throwing surf in there, here and there. Even though these kids live in Orange, just talking about the ocean and how to keep the world beautiful and different impressionism and things like that about California history. I mean, with whatever I'm interested in, I'm teaching, and it's connected to all the different standards and things that and so what's happening, I think is neat, is the kids are learning a lot. They don't even realize it. They don't realize they're learning history of California.
So there's a connection.
Yeah, and they go out of there with so many things that they're learning because they like art. And what I'm finding at this age, like middle school, kids are just finding out that they're good at drawing or good at sculpting or good at learning about art, and they didn't know that up to that point. And sometimes I'm the first person going, oh, here, have these materials to help you with your art, and they're just thriving, and then they're happy, they're stoked on school.
You know, it's funny because what you just said, they're stoked on school. I bet it's an amazing, math, history, English, languages. I mean, all the stuff they've got to do that, mundane really brings you down because there's so much involved in it, the stress involved in, passing their finals or whatever. And then you come along with this art. What a great break for them.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's not all rainbows and there's, it's rough. There's some kids who, are troubled kids, but that's just what comes with being a teacher. But
Yeah.
I love it because I'm getting so much out of them, and even creative writing. I'll have we're talking about a project or something, and we're gonna be writing about, come up with a story, and you're gonna create a movie about a Tim Burton character or something.
Wow.
And then there'll be these kids have these amazing stories, and I'm like, this could actually be a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm, right now,
Unreal.
it's happening right now. Like these kids are, I'm like, this. Are you serious? You just came up with, I'm like, Tim Burton needs to hear this,
Yeah. So Rick also puts on the science fair at the Surf Museum. I think, is it going to be the third one that you're going to do?
Yeah.
You tell him about the science fair. This another thing that he does. It's
Well,
incredible.
so we started an education committee at the Surf Museum, and one of the ideas we had was to have a surf and science night. And so it's connecting surf and anything to do with science. And there's so many different types of science that goes into surfing, like how to make a surfboard.
Right.
And, and just the environment of the ocean, how the bottom works to make waves, it's
Wow,
all
what a great,
connected.
yeah.
It's just
That's
it's-
unreal.
And then talk about Bolsa Chica estuary, all the science that goes into that, marine science and everything. So anyway, we got
And what a great place because you got the wetlands too.
so we get the Bolsa Chica
Yeah, they
Conservancy.
come. It's
Bolsa Chica Conservancy comes, and they
it's
have this
unreal.
whole like van with all these critters that they teach the kids.
Wow.
We got Cal State Long Beach has a shark shack, it's called, and they come and they even bring little things that they have.
And all this
sharks.
takes place at the Surfing Museum
yeah,
Wow.
in the
We-
in the parking lot?
yeah
In the parking
So real quick, so my grandchildren, I take them to both of them. So the youngest one, who's 10, he asked me about, I don't know, a month or so ago, when is the next thing going to happen at
cool,
the
yeah.
Surf Museum?
Oh, that what he
they
does.
love that thing. Yes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's kind of neat because it took a life of its own because we were trying to promote it, but we didn't have to. It was the parents were promoting it within themselves, just word of mouth. And then the first one, all these people are coming, all these parents are coming out of the and I was like, where did you hear this? Oh, my friend told me. And so all these kids were coming, and there were a lot of elementary kids, but we had Dwyer Middle School come and had a booth. The teacher. Susie August,
Yeah.
she's Sam August,
Sam August's
Sam August,
wife.
wow.
Robert August,
Robert.
daughter.
Yeah.
And so she is a science teacher, and so she had all. And so what's good about that is they bring all of those kids, their friends, and they're helping work the booth. And then Huntington High School came. My friend Greg Gorin is an environmental science teacher there, and he brought his kids, and all those kids come. And then we had Edison come this last time, and we had. And then we even have Chaz Wickwire, Shaper. He's there, and he's a great guy. He's super smart, talking about how to make a surfboard.
Foam, fiberglass,
Yeah.
resin, hot coat, fin and hot coat.
Yeah, and like he's explaining it. He also has a surf forecasting business where he talks about how weather works and storms and how you can tell how waves are going to come. I mean, which is also science. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
kinda-
totally.
It's kind of interesting how much science has to do with surfing.
Well, how much the ocean has to do with science?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty big. That's pretty big right there. Yeah.
My one friend where he's a teacher in Long Beach, Jeff Lampert. He made this game, and it's a board game, and you have to. He explains how the bottom contour makes waves break, and he has a picture, and he's like, okay, which kind of wave is this one? Pipeline. What is the bottom contour? And anyway, and you have to pick the card, and so it's like the kids are like, oh, whoa, it's totally fun.
So
Wow.
the kids have to, they hand this paper out, and as they go through each different display, they get after they finish it,
They get a mark.
They get a mark, and then when they get it all through, what did they get?
Well, we got T-shirts made, and it's
that's-
Art, Surf, and Science Night, and then we had some gifts to give out. But what I did is last time, I asked them, what was your favorite thing you learned for this? And it's neat to hear the feedback, what they liked. A lot of it came, they really liked the sharks, but it always different things. They had other booths where they're learning about the ocean bottom and stuff, the marine environment, and so they like that.
Yeah, didn't Surfrider have?
Yeah, Surfrider had a whole
Surfrider was there.
this whole topographical map showing how
The bottom of the ocean is.
from how the water goes to the ocean. So it's streams and how the how we need to keep the the earth clean, and how it drains to the ocean. Right, we can't just drop stuff into the gutter, because and they show all the tributaries and how it ends up going to the ocean.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's funny because growing up as a kid, we used to walk on the beach and collect sand dollars, take them and put them in a baggie and take them. Here, Mom, you can buy dinner, whatever. We were kids. Yeah. And today, when you walk on the beach, you don't see that very much anymore. Very, very few. Most of them are all broken up and stuff. You do find some every now and then.
Low tide, super low tide.
Yeah, super low tide. But it's funny because over so many years, that's really a great thing you're teaching, because the things that we do on Earth, on land, gets washed down and it goes into the ocean. In fact, some of the best days of surfing were just when the storm was hitting, and during the storm, maybe
the water it'd
be unreal waves and everything. And now they tell you can't get in the water for 72 hours. You're going to get sick, with the bacteria and stuff.
Well,
so it's great. That awareness is important.
Forever. Yeah, I remember saying, no, you can't go surfing because the water's polluted.
You're going to get sick. Yeah, you get bacteria or something. Another question I have for you is, how Melissa Murals?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, so we had her on the show too. So we got artwork. This is going to be an artwork podcast show, all about artwork. We're going to bring all the artists in. Yeah.
Melissa's rad.
Yeah,
she's got so many beautiful murals.
Oh yeah.
Sunset Beach, all over, and then Huntington Beach.
Yeah, she's done quite. She's made her mark in town, that's for sure.
She just finished Edison High School. She put a big mural over there.
Yeah, she's done a good job. Yeah, we had her on the show as well. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah, I just had to know. Okay, you got to know Melissa. Yeah, you do. Yeah, we'll cruise. So, one of the last things I always ask everybody is, what does Huntington Beach mean to you, Ricky?
It means surfing.
Yeah.
No, it's a great community. I mean, I'm thinking about so much how much I love living in Huntington Beach. When I was a kid, I always wanted to surf, and I realized where I was living in Huntington Beach, and I realized it was a really important place for surfing, and I always just wanted to be a part of it, and always wanted to be in the water, and so I'm really lucky to be able to be like on the museum board and helping spread the word. But so I'm really interested in surf history, and every time I'm researching things about surf history, it always blows me away how much comes back to Huntington. The history comes back to Huntington. There's so many connections to Huntington.
So wait, real quick. When Sammy Hawk was in town, and he's from here, but he's lived in Hawaii for 55 years. Sammy Hawk stayed at my house, and Rick finds out, hey, Sammy Hawk's staying at your house. I go, yeah. And so I go, come on over and meet him. We'll go for a cruise in my VW bus. So the three of us are in my VW bus. I got Rick kind of in awe because Sammy
Hawk's in the car.
in the car. And then he started asking all these really great questions, like so Sammy Hawk is the first guy to ever go back door on at Pipeline. It's a strong left. It's always been a strong left.
Right,
you can catch it going back door.
Yeah.
And so Rick asked the great question, how did that happen? And Sammy told us a story of how he got angry with Jerry Lopez because Jerry was ripping him off the waves. There was no a priority back then, and Jerry Lopez is a great pipeline surfer and would rip off Sammy, and Sammy knew he was going to be in the finals with him. So that night, Sammy puts a red Japanese circle on his board like kamikaze. He kept on thinking, I'm going to drop it.
What, on the nose of the board?
Yeah. And then a friend of ours, Chewy Mandrill, takes a picture out of National Geographic of a hawk or an eagle flying, and he tapes it on the board, and that becomes the logo for Hawk Surfboard.
Oh, I didn't know. Wow, what a great story.
Yeah, that was the night
Unreal.
before. And then that day, Sammy's out surfing against Jerry Lopez in the Pipe Masters. And so Lopez is taking off, and Sammy says, screw it, I'm going to go right. And for the first time ever, anybody ever does it, and he pulls it off in the Pipe Masters. But to hear Ricky ask the questions, and Sammy Hawk, the guy that did it, talking to us and telling us the whole
Was Sammy
story.
Hawk Goofy Foot?
No, Sammy Hawk's a regular.
He was
foot.
regular foot, okay.
Yeah, but he
He could handle that, yeah.
Yeah, so
Unreal.
when he went right on that wave, no one had ever done it before. He was the first
So
guy
he
to
opened
ever
up
go.
a whole door of surfing.
Yeah.
And that's what they call it back door. So, yeah. Unreal. Good. How old were you when you did that? When you asked that question? How old?
It was
It
a
was
few years
just
ago.
a few years
Yeah.
ago, back in 2018. So
Oh,
it was
okay. Oh, it wasn't
6
that.
years
Oh,
ago.
that wasn't that long. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated with how surfers start out and things. And Sammy, I learned that he was from Bolsa Chica area, where I'm from.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
how I grew up
I'm like,
surfing. I knew him and his brothers when they were kids. I was a kid.
Surfing
And their
in Bolsa
oldest
Chica.
brother, their
and-
oldest brother calling all the shots in the water to make sure Chris and Sammy got all the waves.
And so for me, Sammy was like the super legend, in
Legend.
the 70s, like we're talking about Pipe Master and early Charger. But he's from Bolsa Chica. I mean, nobody really knows that. And so I'm like going, where were you actually from? And he's like telling me the school, and oh yeah, I lived right here on this street. And we're kind of driving down like almost by where he was at and lived growing up, And so to me, I think that kind of story needs to be told because I didn't know growing up that this legend was from Bolsa Chica.
Or from Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Well, I knew he was from Huntington
Oh, you did?
originally,
Oh.
but from the pier area. Everybody thinks it's from the pier. And then I would write little things about it. Sammy's from Bolsa Chica, and these other guys who are like hardcore pier people, they're like, no, you're from the pier.
No.
What are you talking about? He's from the pier. And I'm like, no, I talked to Sammy, and he's from.
They lived in Garden
He doesn't
Grove.
want to say he's from Bolsa Chica, but he's from up Warner, and then he was living in Sunset for a little bit. But when he was a Grom, riding down his bike down Warner, and he was surfing right there at Warner, Bolsa Chica, and Sunset.
Yeah.
So
Good
I
spot.
think for me, like I love telling stories like that because I think the Groms growing up, they should know that they could too become Pipe Master, right? I mean, that's the kind of thing that we need to tell the next generation is that you think Bolsa, a lot of people say Bolsa's small or crummy or whatever, but hey, you can become a full-on legend.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that came from here. Anything else, Don?
No, my wife texted me.
Oh,
I got a meeting.
We have wives. All of us have wives. Yeah. Well, all of us have wives. Ricky, it was so good having you on the show, man. It
thanks,
was a
man.
lot of fun. Let's give him a big hand, everybody. Yeah, look at it. The crowd's going wild for you, man.
Wow,
Yeah. So
that's
cool.
a great deal. Thanks,
Really,
guys.
one of the things we're trying to do here, Ricky, is we're really trying to, this is just yet another venue to really put this kind of information out. Glad to have you on the show. Glad that you spent some time with us because it means a lot to Don and I that you took time out of your life to show up here. And
Thank you.
Look at, we're just spreading the word. Now we got a couple good shout outs to help you out as
and
well.
We have a couple other events.
The day after the Volkswagen thing is the Christmas party at the Surf Museum. That's on December 5th.
5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a bunch of surf art there and surf artists and Christmas surf art, holiday surf art. So
Yeah.
that'll be a nice thing.
December 5th at the Huntington Beach International Surfing Museum. I think
Be there,
it
be square.
starts at
Yeah.
5 or
5.
6 o'clock.
5.
Yeah.
Right?
5 to 9. Yep.
Yeah.
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you, man. I'm
right,
Mel
thank you.
Craig.
I'm Don Ramsey.
We'll see ya.